Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video which I've not done anything like this before. I feel like I keep saying that on this channel, but honestly I'm just trying to make my channel quite varied, not just makeup, to different kind of videos. So today, as you've probably seen from the title, my video is all going to be about my university experience. So my university experience was very good. Like, I loved uni. I've just graduated in July. I graduated with a 2-1 in Hospitality Business Management from Manchester Met. That's a bit of a mouthful. So my course was 3 years long. Obviously my first year was great because we had freshers, everything was so new, and luckily I was accepted into studying abroad for my second year. So I did actually apply just to do a 6-month exchange year in Malaysia, and the reason I chose that country was because it's somewhere I've never been, somewhere I wanted to go, and I would also qualify for Erasmus funding. So I got help from the government who paid for my flights, paid for like most of my accommodation, so it just had to be done. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, to be honest. Obviously, I'm not going to judge anyone that doesn't do that, but if the option's there, I would definitely recommend it. And then my third year, obviously, had dissertation, and we'll say it was quite stressful towards the end, but I've done it now. The one thing that I will say about my course at university is that when it was easy, it was easy. But when it was hard, it was very hard. And I guess most courses are like that. I'm not saying my course was as intense as other courses, shall we say, but a lot of hard work has to be done for any degree. So you don't just let people tell you that your degree is worth nothing because it's in a certain area. Because some people did do that to me, and it was quite annoying because, you know, when you're working so hard and people are like, yeah, but you're doing hospitality. But it's still a degree, it's a business degree, and I was quite proud of myself, to be honest, for completing it, because there were times where I was so stressed. So, as I've just said there, what course I did, what university I went to, I'm just going to give you a bit of information about how uni worked for me, and then I'll split it down into years. So on my course there was around 40 people, which I think is quite a good group size, and we were all together for lectures, and we also had some lectures with events management and some lectures with tourism management. So some of our lectures were very big, so that's just kind of where they outline certain topic areas. And then in your seminars, which are in your smaller groups, so I was in with 40, we would go through everything we went over in the lecture, but in a lot more detail, and that's more of like a school kind of classroom environment where you sat at a table rather than just sat at a bench in a lecture hall. And then we also had tutorials. So for my tutorials, my class was split into two, so there was 20 people in group A, 20 people in group B, and they were more like personal, how you're doing at university, like what grades do you think you're going to get, and they're there for support and stuff like that. Tutorials were quite useful, and you did get to know your classmates like on a one-to-one level in tutorials. And then going on from that, we also had one-to-one tutorials with our lecturer, and we'd have them about twice a semester, so probably 4 times a year, and they just kind of rotate between the whole class, and that's really good just to get to know any advice. And my tutors really pushed me, and they were the ones that said, no, you need to go and study abroad, so I'll thank them for that. But yeah, that's kind of how uni worked. I think most universities do work the same, but I know that's just how my course worked. So if anyone is going to MMU, then this is probably what you're going to expect. So in my first year, it's split into 2 semesters. So your first semester runs from the start of September till December, and then you have another semester from January until around May. I don't know how it works like that, but that's just how it seemed to work for us. When I studied at MMU, I did 4 modules per year, so they were all 30 credit units. So I did, say, A, B, C, D in the first year, in the first semester, and in the second semester I carried on with those 4 modules. Whereas when I studied abroad, I did 6 topics in semester 1, and then in semester 2 I did 6 completely different topics. So in 1 year I did 12 small modules when I was studying abroad, but at MMU you do 4 main topics in a lot of detail. In my 3rd year, the same thing, where I had 4 topics that I did, and one of them was my dissertation. So my dissertation was 12,000 words, I believe, which is a research essay. I'm not going to go too far into your dissertation because if you're watching this video, you're probably just starting university and I don't want you to get stressed. Not that you will get stressed because you'll get lots of support from your tutors, and if you pick a topic that you are passionate about, then you will be able to easily write that amount of words on it. One thing I was going to also add is that in my 2nd semester of my 1st year, you could opt for a language, which I personally didn't choose to do because I know that languages aren't my strongest point. Dog, come here. Hello. Do you want to say hello to the camera? Come on, you. He's a little poodle. He's 14. He's a little old man. Just saying, sorry. In 1st year you could opt for a language. In the 2nd semester, personally I chose not to because as I just said, my languages aren't a strong point for me and I wanted to get the best grades I possibly could, and I knew that I could do that through like an academic writing module rather than a language, because year 8 French proved to me that I can't speak French. For that you'd have your 15 credits from the 1st semester, 15 credits for the language, which makes the 30 credits in total. Some of my friends did that and they did languages, and then when they went to do a placement year abroad, the languages really came in handy. So I guess if that is something you're opting to do, then that would be really beneficial. Whereas for myself, I didn't decide to do a placement abroad because since I've been 16 I've always been working within the industry. So personally for me, after being away for a year studying abroad, another year abroad just wouldn't have been great for me. But a lot of people who didn't have any experience in the hospitality industry did opt to do a sandwich year degree. So they did, for the 3rd year they went abroad, and well, not always abroad, went into industry to do a placement, whereas I went back to uni, and I've now graduated and they're going back to uni, which is quite sad because it means that I didn't graduate with a lot of like my friends from 1st year. But I wish them all luck with that. I'm just glad I don't have to do it now, and I'm now in a full-time job, so it's kind of scary really to think that just 3 years ago I was starting uni. Also, I'm just going to add on here, I commuted to uni. So for the first few months, bless him, for the first few months of uni I just took the train into town because it just stops right by my house and it takes like 20 minutes to get into town. But it was always late, and there's nothing more embarrassing than walking into a lecture of 100 people late. So I ended up driving into town in the end, and it ended up working out the same price for me because it was £5.90 on a train and I used to pay £4 a day parking. If you go to MMU, I parked in the car park under the courtyard. It's a very dodgy car park, it's very tight, so if you've got a lovely car that you really care about, I wouldn't suggest parking there. But I had a Toyota Aygo at the time that was very small and fit in all the small spaces, was scratched in that car park, but that's why I didn't get a nice car when I was at uni. If you do commute, you might even be able to find someone to car share with, because I did, and it just saved money and time, and it was nice to have someone to share that journey with in the mornings. And also another thing I want to say is that if you are commuting to uni rather than living in halls, do not feel like you are going to miss out on university life, because literally I always used to stay at my friends' houses in town. I would always be there, and to be honest, it'd be nice that I could come home to a cooked meal, have all my washing done for me and have everything done like a princess. I'm really quite comfortable at home, and for the course that I wanted to do, MMU was one of the best in the northwest to do that course, and it just made sense for me to commute. I also kept down a job whilst I was studying, and I was able to keep that whilst I was at uni, and rather than spending my student loan on accommodation, I bought myself a car which I commuted with. I saved for obviously my year abroad, so yeah, I just wanted to add that in because I know some people feel like they're not doing as well if they don't move out or whatever. Everyone's going to find their independence just at different times, I guess. If you enjoyed this video, bless him, he's so old, he just likes to sleep all the time. I think he likes the light. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this from me. And of course, please comment below if you've got any video recommendations or if you have any questions related to this video, because I'm always there commenting and liking my comments, so please make sure you do that. So I'll leave it there, and take care, and good luck to anyone who might be starting university. It can be a time of a lot of stress and doubt and worries, but honestly, I had the best years when I was at uni, so good luck to you all, and I hope that you do too. Bye!